Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to answer the question if Nvidia stock is a buy following third quarter earnings announcement. So let's look at the critical figures from the quarter to answer that question. The main theme here is that Nvidia's inventory troubles persisted throughout the third quarter. Overall revenue decreased by 17% in Q3 to 5.9 billion. Earnings per share decreased by 72% to 27 cents a share, and the gross profit rate of 53.6% was down from 65.2% year over year. Now, in and of itself, these figures are not terrible, but when you consider that Nvidia is selling at a valuation of a massively growing company, a rapidly growing company, it's valued with a significant growth trajectory in mind. And so when you're looking at the valuation and then compared to the revenue and earnings per share decreases, that's kind of a mismatch there. So we'll talk about that a little more later in the video. Let's continue. Gaming segment revenue was down 51% year over year to 1.57 billion. Of course, Nvidia management always says that its gaming segment is correlated to cryptocurrency prices because some of the same GPUs that are used for gaming can also be used to mine cryptocurrencies. And so as cryptocurrency prices have crashed and the desire to mine cryptocurrencies has fallen, the demand from these miners to buy Nvidia's gaming processing units has decreased, and so this is creating pressure in its gaming segment, and that's partly to blame for revenue decreasing 51% year over year. Data segment revenue, however, remains robust. It was up 31% year over year to 3.8 billion. Together, these two make up the bulk of its revenue. If you add them up, that's close to 5.4 billion of the total 5.9 billion in revenue in the third quarter. The company ended the quarter with $4.45 billion in inventory, which was double the $2.2 billion it had at the same time last year. This is where Nvidia faces significant troubles. It has this glut of inventory right at the same time that demand from end users is decreasing or declining or decelerating, and this is not what investors like to see from Nvidia. And Nvidia took another markdown of its inventories, of decrease in what it thinks it's going to be able to sell its inventories for here in the third quarter, and that makes 2 consecutive quarters at least of marking down inventories, and it's uncertain whether they will have another markdown in the next quarter if the sales through isn't as robust, right? And of course, that's partly to blame for Nvidia's cash flow from operations falling to 392 million, down from 1.5 billion a year ago. A decrease in earnings per share coupled with the rise in inventories. Of course, the company uses cash to make inventory, and so when inventory builds, it's a headwind to cash flow from operations, and so cash flow from operations falls dramatically from 1.5 billion down to 392 million. Thankfully for Nvidia stock investors, the outlook for Q4 looks better. The company calls for revenue of 6 billion, which would be a slight sequential increase from the 5.9 billion from the third quarter. But the huge benefit, the huge upside here was the gross profit margin is expected to be 63% in the fourth quarter. That would be up from 53.6% in the third quarter, and so the sequential boost in gross profit margins should flow through to the bottom line and boost profits in the fourth quarter. That was the upside here from the earnings outlook from Nvidia management. So to answer the question if Nvidia's stock is a buy right now, I would say not yet. The company admittedly has leading cutting-edge technologies in some of the fastest growing segments in the world. However, this inventory glut coupled with revenue slowdowns, coupled with its expensive valuation, it's not a cheap stock, means that you can wait for another quarter or two before buying Nvidia's stock, or maybe waiting for the price to drop another 10 to 20%, and then it may make more sense to buy Nvidia's stock. So in the middle of all these troubles in the near term, with several macroeconomic headwinds it's facing, there is no need to rush in and buy Nvidia stock right now. So I would say Nvidia stock, not a buy just yet. It may be over the next few months, over the next few quarters, but Nvidia stock is not a buy right now. Okay, that's all I've got for this video. If you've liked this video and if you've gained any value, please hit the like and subscribe button. It'll help me make more videos like this one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for all investors of all skill sets and risk levels. So I'm proud to partner with the Motley Fool to bring you 10 stock picks from their popular product, Stock Advisor. Stock Advisor has beaten the market by more than 3 times. Go to fool.com/parkev to get your 10 stock picks now.